What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. See, we're taking out the American P-80a. This is a Tier 5 jet with a battle rating of 7.0. And right now we're just finishing up a match against the Germans. This is actually a fairly funny ending, actually. I was in the middle of a recording. I was doing a video on jets. It was specifically about British jets, and then Gaijin pushed that battle rating patch right in the middle of my making of the video, so I had to scrap that video and come up with something else. So I had to take a look through my list of planes that you guys have been requesting, and the P-80 seemed like a perfectly logical plane. I want to see how this plane performed at the new battle rating of 7.0, and basically just like how it used to fly. You get a lot of German matches. You see a lot of Me-262s and Hortons and that kind of thing. So the new battle rating of the P-80 really isn't that big of a difference from the previous previous battle rating. In this match, my team has systematically just been eliminated. This was one of those good matches where neither team really had a huge difference or a huge advantage as far as numbers. But every time we eliminated one of their guys, they eliminated one of us. And it's just kind of gone back and forth until this point where it's just myself, one other guy against two of these Me-262s. And I'm just trying to get some altitude and some distance, because frankly I'm not all that confident in myself. My aim all game has been just absolutely terrible. The only reason I was able to get that one kill against that Horton was because he was damaged, and I could just barely hit the broadside of a barn. Honestly, this was just one of those games where I just could not hit anything. I really can't blame anything other than myself. I apologize if you hear some banging in the background. There's a garbage truck actually just going through the neighborhood. It's one of those things, and got the audio recording going, and stuff is going on outside. As much as I wanted to help this guy, it was just too late. Unfortunately, just too late. So now it's myself against these two Me-62s. But the good thing about this map is that you got a lot of AAA, and right now I am just praying to the AAA gods that they will help me out. Shoot down one of these 262s, and sure enough, it happens. The AAA shoots down a 262. Thank God. Now I got one more to deal with. Will the AAA help me, or am I gonna have to deal with this guy myself? Going back to what I was saying earlier, I haven't been able to hit the broadside of a barn, with the exception of that one Horton that was critically damaged. So I'm still hoping that the AAA will give me a hand. However, that 262 is getting awfully close. You can see that great big 50mm cannon go past my plane. So I know I'm going to have to try to bait this guy up, do some energy fighting, and either hope that I can get around on him, or hope that I can get him up so that the AAA can shoot him down. Now, the plane I'm going up against is the Me-262 A1U4, otherwise known as the Narwhal, because of the great big 50mm gun that sticks out on the nose. I've been able to stall him out. You can see that AAA is awfully close to getting him. Try to get a shot, but no dice. He rolls underneath me. I roll over top of him. Again, trying to keep my nose up, trying to stall him out, force him up, so that he'll stall out. So I can either drop down on top of him, or so that the AAA will get him. Again, I'm still hoping the AAA will get him, because my aim has not been very good. So far, the AAA hasn't really dealt any blows against this guy. A lot of very close hits, but nothing so far. I, on the other hand, haven't had any luck. I haven't been able to get a good run on this guy. I'm just trying to stall him out as much as I can, bleeding so much speed and energy from him until he just doesn't have any energy left, and he splashes down in the water. This is just one of those little fights that brought back a flood of memories of energy fights that I've won over the years. And honestly, whether I win an energy fight or I lose, it's just one of those things that I absolutely love about this game. It takes the RNG out of the game. You know, it's not a lucky shot or something. You know, there's so much RNG in this game sometimes where you just have to take that out of the game and deal with plane performance and player expertise. And energy fighting is just one of those things where you can just eliminate all the RNG and just have a ball. Honestly, I love energy fighting. Again, whether I lose or win, it's just a lot of fun. I only managed to get one official kill, but as far as I'm concerned, I should have gotten 2 because I caused that one guy to lose his energy so much that he actually lost the ability to maintain flight. In this next match, we find ourselves on New Guinea, which of course is not one of my favorite maps to fight on as an American or a British. It's basically because it's a very one-sided map. The Japanese get in an air spawn, whereas the Americans and British forces have to take off from a runway, and it gives the Japanese a significant advantage. Anytime one team gets an air spawn and the other team doesn't, it ends up in a rather unfair fight, in my opinion. In this first engagement, I find an N1K flying low, flying his plane rather poorly. Gets himself kind of in a low altitude, slow speed kind of situation, and he makes himself a really easy target, and boom. That's those tracer rounds. APIT rounds just explode fuel tanks so beautifully. And there we go. First target down, Kika coming in. And behind him, we got several others that are still climbing. They'll be joining the fight rather soon. The Japanese have plenty of fighters up high. At this tier, you tend to find a lot of N1Ks and K-84s. But of course, you also have bombers. The G8N1 is up here. And it's interesting that I find this guy because quite recently I received a request to fly the G8N1 for the channel. So I did. I had some fun. But at the time, it was absolutely terrible. One of the problems at the time was you had to deal with F2Hs. This thing fought F2Hs at the time that this was requested, so it was absolutely brutal to fly this thing. So I laid him on fire and I just get the hell out of there. I don't want to deal with those 20mm gunners on the back. So yeah, G8N1 video is coming. I need to take it out some more very soon. Now that we've got a new battle rating system, or it's not really a new system, but we've gotten some changes with the battle ratings, I should say. I'll be giving the G8N1 another shot. Facing Banshees was just not fun. Let me tell you, it was brutal. It's one thing to face Bearcats and Spitfires and Seafires and all that kind of stuff, but it's another to face the Banshee. It's not fair. It's not fun. It's nice to get one down. It's nice to shoot one down with those 20mm gunners back there. However, those things are just so much faster than the G8N1. So yeah, look for the G8N1 video coming along in the next couple of weeks. I think I'll be focusing on the 1.53 patch first. We'll just have to see how things shake out with the patch. The dev server was just up for the first time yesterday, and I have to get some footage recorded and prepare for that. So we got a whole sea of N1Ks. I'd split them so that I can get away from them. They're both headed right for me. There's no way I could get them both down. Take a couple of rounds, call for help, to try to get some separation. There's no point in me turning around. It'll leave me low and slow. And you need to fly this like an energy fight, like a boom zoomer a bit. This is not a turn fighter, especially against an N1K. You need to use your speed as much as you can. Now that I've gotten myself some separation, I turn back around to engage these guys. I gotta help my teammates, after all. Here we have an N1K who separated himself from his teammates. So I make my dive. I don't like my angle. I don't want to plunge right into the ground, so I disengage and continue on. There's no point in me doing anything too crazy. Just in the nick of time, I swerved out of the J7W1's fire. I only got some sparks on me. Nothing critical, thankfully. He didn't turn back around. He instead actually continued on. He is, however, slowing down. He's in a turn. There's a great opportunity for me to pounce and get him while he's slow. Another aircraft coming in, but he's still a good distance away. I don't have to worry about him just yet. I want to bounce this J7W1. He sees me, and what he tries to do, I believe, is to do a split S. But the aircraft's horrible elevator authority comes back to bite him. He just could not pull that split S off. I fireball him and continue on. Just keeping my speed up, trying to fly in a fairly straight line to get this N1K. Now, I'm not really sure what this N1K's plan was. I suppose he's damaged, but he's not really smoking or anything. I just put a couple of bursts into him, light him up, and he's pretty much done. He made absolutely no attempt whatsoever to try to avoid my attack. So I don't know what he's doing. Honestly, just one of those things where all you can do is speculate. And here we have the last of the N1Ks. As a matter of fact, this is the last guy on their team. And this is just part of the energy fighting that I showed at the beginning of the match. I'm not going to get down and turn fight this guy. That would be a losing situation. The N1K is fairly maneuverable actually for a tier 4 fighter. So if I try to get down there and turn fight with him, I'm gonna get owned in a heartbeat. I will be a white and an orange fireball. So I stay above this guy at all times. I don't want to let this guy get on my tail. I should try to make sure he's either in front of me or below me at all times. I can't let him get around on me. Again, taking occasional pot shots here and there. Just try to keep him honest. Try to keep him on his toes, and let my teammates handle most of the work. Everyone is basically just taking turns at this guy. Most of us are just energy fighting with him a little bit. The one guy is turn fighting just a little bit more than I would recommend. And we're all just taking our little turns. The N1K is taking a couple of shots at us. He's actually not taking any shots at me. Slowly but surely, we're doing the same thing that happened in the last match that I showed you against the ME-262s. We're slowly draining him of his energy. He hasn't been able to get any altitude for some time. And before too long, he's just going to be in a world of hurt. See, I'm starting to get actually a little bit low on energy myself. But I have to get just enough. And here he makes his mistake. Pitches up right in front of me. He's so slow at that point, where I just could not have missed that shot. I instantly fireball him and kill him for the 4th kill of the match. That moment where he pulled up, if that had happened earlier in this engagement, where he was at a higher energy state, he probably would have been able to pull it off because he would have been traveling at a higher rate of speed. But at that point in the match, his energy state was so low that he just did not have any speed left. So it was almost impossible for me to choke on that shot. And that's why it's so important to keep your energy up, to keep your speed up. But in all fairness to the N1K, he was against 3 jets. Honestly, he wasn't going to win that match. There was no way the N1K was going to come up with a hero comeback. Even if he had taken out one of us, I don't think he would have been able to take out the other 2. Because none of us were making such terrible decisions that we would have lost that. And so that is the P-80a, a very good jet actually. When this aircraft was introduced some time ago, it was a terrible jet with a terrible flight performance, but it has come a long way. It's actually enjoyable to fly now. The P-80 is a very good early jet. I would recommend every American pilot to start on this and not the Banshee. You know, just dip your toe in the water when you get into the jet combat. Anyway, guys, I thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click that thumbs up button, and of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.